Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Seattle Reign FC defender Lauren Barnes. Lauren, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for asking. Lauren, the name of the game is really random. That's where I ask you a random question and you give me the real answer. Some of these questions are custom made just for you, and some of these questions are generic ones that I ask all the people I interview. So,
okay.
Here's the first question. Superpower you'd love to have?
Ooh, I think it's simple, but I think it'd be amazing, is to fly.
That makes sense. You love to travel, so I can see that. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, anything with Billy Madison in it. I love Billy Madison, but anything with Adam Sandler's in it.
Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite guilty pleasure?
Dark chocolate.
The NWSL Olympic break is now over. All teams will resume playing games this weekend. What did you do during the break?
I actually traveled back home to Southern California and hung out with family.
How much training did the team do together during the break?
Together during the break, we actually all went our separate ways. We had a plan, though, that we all had to follow, so we were all kind of doing individual stuff, and then we came back last Monday and all started training together.
Okay, interesting, because I think only Houston and Washington were the only teams that practiced during the break because they played a week earlier than everyone else because they had that makeup game that they had to get in, so I was just curious about that. Right now, your team, the Seattle Reign, is in 6th place. And if the playoffs started today, the team wouldn't be going. But with 5 games left to go in the regular season, there's still plenty of time for the team to claim a spot in the playoffs. And when I think of all the teams that are currently not in the top 4, I think Seattle has the best chance to make it into the playoffs. Because if you look at the last 5 games of the regular season, 4 of the last 5 games are against 3 teams that are currently in the top 4. So by beating these teams, you'll not only gain 3 points, but also you'll stop them from gaining 3 points, and you'll be able to close the gap to potentially jump one of them and make it into the top 4 and make it into the playoffs. So from here on out, is it safe to say that every game is a must-win? Is it safe to say from here on out the team has to get 3 points?
Yes, absolutely, and it honestly should have been like that from day one. But yes, it's coming down to the wire, so these next few games are very important.
What's it like knowing that the entire season has come down to these last 5 games? Because even though there's been 15 games played up until this point, the future of the team rests on the results of these next 5 games. So is the team feeling a lot of pressure going into these next 5 games? Because the next 5 games are crucial to knowing the fate of the team, whether the team goes home at the end of the regular season or the team keeps playing and makes the playoffs. So is the team feeling a lot of pressure going into these last 5 games?
I feel like you feel a little bit more pressure because of that, but at the end of the day, we're doing something we love, and being competitive and having these games so important, I think, is just going to help us maybe light a little bit of a fire under us and really go after it these last 5 games.
During the preseason, some of the experts picked this team to finish first and win the Shield for the 3rd straight year. Some of the experts picked this team to finish second, and I don't think I saw anyone pick this team to finish lower than 3rd. No one predicted at this point the team would not be in the top 4. So some people described this season up until this point as a very big disappointment, but how would you describe how things have been going for the team up to this point?
Yeah, and that's honestly the beauty of the game. Every game is, especially in our league in the NWSL, every game is a tough game, and I think that's why our league is one of the better ones in the world, for that matter. But it is true. I mean, predictions are predictions. We still have to play the game at the end of the day.
If you had to give a letter grade for how this team has played so far this season, what letter grade would you give the team?
Oh, that's a tough one. as a player and a competitor, I always want to do better. So I think right now, maybe a B minus, C plus.
What about you? How do you think you've played so far this season? If you had to give yourself a letter grade, what letter grade would you give yourself as an individual player?
This has been a tough season for me, so I would say probably a C. Been below average.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know if there's a particular reason. We did have a slow start to the season, and just kind of getting the team together and progressing each game was important for us, and I don't think we necessarily did that, so I think just finding my rhythm this year was difficult.
This season you changed positions. You moved from center back to left back. How has that affected your play this season on the pitch, and how much of an impact does this position change factor in to the letter grade you just gave us?
I mean, at this level, it shouldn't affect my game very much. I've played both. I've been a center back in this league pretty much all 4 years, but I was a left back leading up to being a pro, so I don't think it should have affected my play very much. There is a little bit of a mindset shift from left back to center back. I was actually really excited to play left back again, so I don't think it played into how I was playing this year, the switch up positions. I just think altogether finding my rhythm was a little bit tougher this year for whatever reason.
I know in the past you've said you like both positions, but let's say Laura Harvey came to you and said, look, Lou, the last 5 games of this season are very important. I want you to be comfortable. What position do you want to play? If she came to you and asked you that, what would you tell her? Would you rather be a center back or an outside back? What position would you pick if she gave you the choice?
I think at this point of my career, it would be center back, just because I've played it the last 4 years and have a really good partnership with Kendall and Rachel when she's healthy and all that stuff. So I would say center back.
Do you have any pregame rituals or superstitions?
I actually do not.
So I'm going to assume no postgame rituals either.
No post-game rituals.
Okay. Hobbies outside of soccer?
I love the ocean and the water, so I try to be in it as much as I possibly can. I've been really into swimming right now.
What's your biggest soccer girl problem?
Soccer girl problem? Maybe our wonderful tan lines we get.
Besides soccer, what are you passionate about?
I'm really passionate about people, actually, and the environment.
If you weren't a pro soccer player, what would your job be? Because I know in 2012 you were an assistant coach at UC Riverside, and I know you still do some coaching here and there in addition to your playing. Would you be coaching now if you weren't playing, or would you be doing something unrelated to soccer?
I'd probably be doing a little bit of coaching. I coach with a company called Beast Mode, and they do a lot of individual and group trainings, and I absolutely love the individual stuff more than team stuff. So I would definitely stick with that for a while, but I would love to do something with the environment or nonprofits I'm really into as well.
This training that you do, give us all the details. How often do you do it? What's the age group that you work with? How many clients do you have? And do you work with boys and girls or just girls?
Yeah, we are... There's 3 coaches that I work with. Beverly, who's actually on my team as well, and then her husband. We all 3 coach with this program, and we coach from ages 10 to all the way to college. And the program's done very, very well in Seattle, so we've got a lot of clients, so it keeps us busy.
Do you live full-time in Seattle?
No, I do not. I live just during the season.
Oh, okay. Just curious about that.
Yeah.
A few things I really wanted to ask you, and I've been wanting to ask you for a very long time, so
okay.
A few things. When WPS folded, why didn't you go over to the WPSL Elite and play in that league like so many of the other players who were in WPS did? Why did you decide not to do that and get into coaching? And when WPS went out of business, did you think your playing career was over?
I'm not sure if I thought my career was over because the WPS folded. It was more of a personal choice of mine, and I just figured it was a good time to explore other options. I know I was still young, but that's why I went into coaching, because I still wanted to be a part of soccer. I didn't know if I necessarily wanted to play, though. But I mean, things happen for a reason. I was a coach at Riverside, and I was coaching the girls and jumping in and still playing with them, and I totally felt like I still needed to be on the other side of the field as a player and not as a coach. So that was very clear to me after coaching with Riverside, and I loved my time at Riverside as a coach, but it definitely led me back into my soccer career. My time at Philly as a rookie was a very, very good learning experience. I really grew as a player and as a person, but I was actually never rostered once at Philly, so I never even touched the soccer field as a pro, and I think that was a little unsettling for me. So putting my name back in the draft and getting drafted to Seattle was kind of like, I'm going to prove to myself that I can play in this league and at the top level.
When you played for the Philadelphia Independents in the WPS, I thought it was a well-known fact that you never played in a regular season game, but I took a look at your Wikipedia page, and on there it says that you appeared in 10 games and scored 2 goals. When did that happen? Because I don't remember any of that. Is that a typo? Where are they getting these numbers from?
No, that was preseason.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that because I'm like, yeah. I don't remember this. I must have.
Yeah, that was preseason.
Okay. I was curious about that because.
Yeah, that was just preseason that they documented.
You've really embraced the city of Seattle. In the past, you haven't always done that. In the past, even though you've lived and played in different cities, whenever someone would ask you, where's home, you would always say, oh, well, home is California. Now, you're starting to say that you've got a second home in Seattle. What changed and makes you say to yourself, I think I've got another place I can call home?
Yeah, I've totally embraced Seattle, and I love it here, and I think it's because it's a very active state in general. They've got a lot of outdoor stuff, which I love. I'm surrounded by water, which I love, and you could pretty much drive anywhere and have an amazing hike or easy getaway, which I love. The people are great here. I'm a foodie. The food's so good here. But I think most importantly, it's been so easy because of the Seattle Reign. We're like family. I've got about 5 of my best friends playing in one team together, which is like unheard of sometimes. And they'll be my friends past soccer kind of thing. So I think that's been the easiest transition for me, is just the lifestyle and the people that I'm around here. It's been incredible. And it's still, to be honest, close to home. I see my parents pretty much every home game.
Oh, they come up to every home game?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You're on the right coast this time.
Yes, I am.
During your time in Seattle, have you made friends outside of soccer? Do you hang out with people who don't play for the Reign?
Yeah, I do. I've got a lot of family friends through soccer, but they're older now. I also was a tutor at an elementary school 1 year here, and I met a couple good families where their kids don't play any soccer or anything, and I'm very good friends with the parents, and I keep in contact. We probably go to dinner 3 or 4 times a month still, and family friends here and there that their kids play soccer, but not a little bit into my career, a little bit older now, so I have the parents that are friends and stuff like that. But to be honest, I hang around with most of my teammates, and they truly are like my best friends, even if we didn't play soccer and our lives collided at some point. I absolutely know that we would be best friends, and we will be after soccer as well.
Are you a lifelong vegan, or is this a recent development?
I think I am a lifelong now. In college, I was a vegetarian for maybe 3 years, so I've kind of dabbled in that lifestyle a little bit. And just traveling and stuff and seeing the environment and how fast it's kind of deteriorating is frightening to me, and I know one vegan isn't going to make that big of a difference, but I'm happy to do it because in my heart it is fulfilling, and I think I can make a difference that way. So I do think it's a lifelong lifestyle now for me.
What brought on the change?
I mean, like I told you, I've done it before, just traveling, and when I lived in Australia and stuff. I think the biggest thing that kind of hit me is I went to scuba dive at the Great Barrier Reef, and it was, they say it could be gone in years now, and that's just scary, and it's just a lot to do with the environment for me, and of course the treatment of animals, but the biggest part for me is the environment and what we use and what we could just simply change to make it a little bit better. So I think that's been my biggest drive, and the more I educate myself on it, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm fine being a vegan for these reasons, 100%.
Favorite food?
Favorite food? We do a lot of cooking, but I think Asian and Mexican are the best vegan foods for us, that you could kind of just go out to any restaurant and know that you could have a vegan meal.
Favorite TV show, and it can be a show currently on the air or a show no longer on the air, just overall favorite TV show. All
right, so I never ever watched Grey's Anatomy, so I just started it this year from season 1, so I probably started 3 months ago, and I'm on, like, season 8, so I still have a lot, too. It's a nice little time killer before bed or something, so I would take Grey's Anatomy.
Favorite band and or solo artist?
I love Sugarland. It's a country band, and a Zach Brown band as well. Both country.
Earlier this year in Week 12, the team played against the Western New York Flash at a baseball stadium on a field that wasn't regulation size. I don't know who came up with the idea to try and fit an entire soccer field into the outfield of a baseball stadium, but whatever, it happened. And I remember that game perfectly because I remember freaking out and thinking something was wrong with my computer during that game. I was like, I can't believe what's going on right now. There's got to be something wrong. It was a crazy experience just as a fan watching it at home on my computer, but you played in that game. You were right in the middle of things. What was it like playing in that game, and what was it like playing on that field?
Yeah, it was interesting. That's the best way to describe that. The dimensions were smaller. I mean, you saw everything you saw on TV is pretty much how we felt in the game. It was a tough situation for everyone, for both teams. To be honest, I don't have much to say about it. I wish we didn't have to play in circumstances like that, but we did, and the outcome was the outcome. But I just hope it doesn't have to happen again to any team in the league.
Right. Just one more thing about the field.
Yeah.
Why didn't the teams refuse to play that game? Why did the teams still go through with the game? Was there any discussion about, hey, let's not play, this is ridiculous?
Yeah, to be honest, it was kind of more of like background conversation. Players didn't really get to hear much about it. I think it was discussed, and I think both teams at the end of the day kind of decided, look, we're here, let's play kind of thing, which, is it right? I don't know. Is it wrong? I don't know. But yeah, I don't think as players that we had the decision to, or a voice to make a decision at all.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. Do you have any other nicknames besides Lou?
Yes. Jess calls me Barnsey, and that's probably the only other person that doesn't call me Lou.
Why number 3?
That started back when I started playing soccer, because number 3 was always one of the smallest jerseys, and it would always fit me.
Celebrity people say you look like?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't think anyone said I've looked like a celebrity.
Go-to song when you're singing in the shower?
Probably anything country. Or reggae, maybe, in the shower.
What's your pet peeve?
When people talk with their mouth full of food.
What's the best thing that ever happened to you?
That's a tough one. I guess just maybe actually thinking about playing soccer again and putting my name in the draft. I think coming up to Seattle has been really great for my career and also my lifestyle.
What's the worst thing that ever happened to you?
I think I have a very good life. I don't think I've had anything that I could say is bad that's happened to me in my life.
Some people are afraid of spiders, some people are afraid of heights, some people are afraid of the dark. What are you afraid of?
I honestly don't like any type of bug that jumps, because it's so unpredictable, you just don't know where it's going to go.
Earlier this year, you got the call up to the U.S. women's national team for the She Believes Cup. What was that experience like? Because at that point in time, when you got that call, you were out of the country traveling, so you only had 4 days to get ready before joining the team. So what was that experience like playing with the national team?
Yeah, I've had that question quite a bit, and I always tell everyone that it wasn't 4 days I've had to prepare. I've been playing soccer my whole life.
Sure.
Nothing was going to change if they have given me 3 weeks to 3 weeks of notification. This is what I've been doing for a living, so I think I was prepared going in. I had a great time. It was a great experience. I've had so much respect for those girls, and just being in there firsthand just gave me even more respect of the work ethic and the style of soccer, and just how great it was to play and play with the best in the world. It was a great experience. I learned so much about myself and the level, and just the professionalism that I experienced when I went up there was great.
Now, even though you didn't get to play in any of the games in that tournament, were you pleased with the way you performed in practice? Because in practice, you're going against elite players left and right. There's so much talent on the national team, and it's a great way for the coaches to see what you have to offer, even though it's not a live game. But were you happy with the way you played in practice, and do you think you played well enough to get another chance?
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to self-reflect, that I definitely gave it everything I had, and I left it all in that camp. And I played the way I play all the time. I didn't try to change who I was. It was a good experience, and I really had to adapt the first couple of days I was in there. It was a lot quicker. Everything was faster pace, kind of that stuff. But I thought I did really well, and I definitely left it all out there. All I could ask of myself.
Person you look up to the most?
Definitely my parents.
What's your hidden talent?
Hidden talent. I'm pretty artistic.
Number one thing on your bucket list?
Probably just traveling to a new destination that I haven't yet.
Last question, Lou.
Okay.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change and why?
Oh, there would be so much. Oh, gosh. Maybe that just no one had to live without the basic food, water, shelter kind of things, and that no one had to experience that anymore. I guess I would try to change that.
Lou, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.